Hey, my beautiful fam, welcome back. Or if you're here for the first time watching on the replay, pull up a seat, get comfortable. You're in the right place. This is where I choose, and we will choose, light when we talk, real talk when it's needed, laughter whenever possible, and real connection over everything else. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button. It really does help keep this corner going. I've been pretty quiet the last few weeks, honestly, taking time to breathe, reflect, heal up from some things. Today, I'm giving you the full no filter update, the real one. And this isn't just about the past month. If I want to be actually completely honest, the last year has, well, it's been felt in heavy layers. Stress stacking on top of stress like a bad game of Jenga. Misunderstandings that started small and turned into full avalanches. Personal pressures I won't detail here because they don't need to be public. And then, yeah, right around that midlife crisis of the big old 4-0 mark, I had one of those classic FAFO arrival moments. You know, the kind where the universe basically sits you down and says, okay, time to learn this the hard way then. It came wrapped as a midlife wake up call and a spiritual lesson all in one. But I didn't sign up for it. However, as I look back and reflect, I really did need it. Let me start with the biggest thing that has hit me during all this. Drama can be genuinely entertaining. Think about it. The roasts that are quick and clever, hot takes that make you laugh out loud, true crime breakdowns on cases that are already public, already resolved in courts or splashed across media. Those kind of things, you know, people go over a lot, including myself, obviously. That's what we did mainly here. But when it's clearly framed as commentary, discussion, or just fun speculation, it's engaging, right? Because we laugh together in the comments on the appropriate topics and at the right times. We all have this interactive bond over sometimes really wild theories. You get a mental escape from our lives, right? That part. I still enjoy it, like a lot of us do. But here's where it got dangerous. And this is what I had to learn the hard way. When people start treating every short clip, every offhand comment, every surface level post as a literal, they start going to your social media and taking everything as if it is completely all there is about the person. And then they go into a real life off the internet and go courtroom level truth, right? They take this stuff and just go full out. And that's when the entertainment stops being harmless and it actually spills over into real harm with real consequences, real pain in actual people's lives, not just hypothetical. I have seen it and I have felt it. And I don't care if people understand it or not. But I know that here we've tried, I definitely really tried to keep my content on the side of being safer. Just touching on the public cases, things already out there in official records or mainstream coverage. I tried to keep the energy light whenever I could and never went digging into random people's backgrounds, their bank accounts, their current relationships, private health battles, their family struggles, or anything sealed or closed, let alone like custody records, therapy sessions. I learned something tough about this digital space, even though I thought I knew it all. Most people decide who you are, or who I am, based on a second, based on a second of context. Why isn't this person airing every detail? They just assume it. And honestly, sometimes the full truth stays private for a good reason. Not because someone's hiding or playing victim, but because dumping raw pain publicly does not build hope. It does not strengthen faith. It doesn't highlight triumph or healing. It just becomes more pain for clicks, more trauma for engagement. I've always believed the way forward is focusing on the light at the end of the tunnel, not camping out in the dark parts forever. Let's talk about this digital assumption trap because it's everywhere now. So many people act like Google or even quick search or an AI summary or a viral thread knows someone better than real life actually could. We're in this full digital age. Hacking happens sometimes multiple times a day. AI scraps and remixes everything. Misinformation absolutely spreads faster than the facts, as it always has. But here's the truth: you are not owed anyone's personal private life, not their health struggles. They're allowed to fight these things quietly. We're not allowed to sit there and tell somebody that they have to publicly cry victim, not their childhood trauma that they worked years to heal from, never any sealed documents and records from custody cases, not on any of the deeply personal pieces some people have tried and failed to weaponize against others. We all have a story, and we all get to write it, protect it, heal in our time and on our terms. When someone intentionally leaves out the rules, ignores boundaries, or flips the script from this is just entertainment to this is a real life takedown, they're no better than the people they claim to call out. What we do here should be on the internet. This is not our real life. It's just that we're giving our time to give you a real life channel to come interact with, to have respite, to have some laughs, or have some compassion, understanding, advocacy, or discussions on something that's popular, trending, or just breaking news. And I absolutely refuse to let anyone destroy my peace, my life, or my path forward just because they do not understand how someone can possibly survive to this point. Guess what? It's not your business to know my layers. It's just not. And while I can give grace, while I can still choose kindness, even after being hurt, I cannot and will not accept revenge that isn't meant for me. The real lesson here lands on the person choosing harm. Why do you see someone who's differently abled and think less than people? Why would you treat anyone like they're disposable, like a dog? That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. And if your sources convinced you that you're on the right path without solid verification, well, maybe it's time to question those sources. This year, the stress was constant. Anger was bubbling up under everything. Every time you would go online, it was doom scrolling from the algorithm. It drains you. You don't even notice it until you're not doing it anymore. I got to a point where I was craving respite more than anything because I wasn't finding any of that online. I couldn't listen to anything on YouTube. I couldn't find a show that was actually rationally having conversations. I couldn't even go into a chat and say something that didn't cause problems. And I realized that all I want to do is laugh again, find joy in the small things, share positivity without feeling forced. It's not suspicious to be authentic. And some of us don't have alternative motives. We are who we are. But you know what happens when you're seeing this clearly forced situation that was going on in some of these spaces with the trauma and the drama? If it's not clearly defined as a roast session or fun commentary with rules that everyone agrees to up front, well, then what is it exactly? If you know the rules and you can have a good time, then sure, you can jump in and enjoy it, like with anything else. But I couldn't. I couldn't be my authentic self if I'm constantly policed on a public platform and told I'm not allowed to have or share a real opinion. We come to spaces like this to talk, to connect, to build relationships, even if they are online. For a lot of us, those online connections are some of the most consistent, understanding ones that we may have for a season, for a reason that not everybody has lived through. And it's okay to disagree with someone. It's okay to have a problem with how someone does things. But at minimum, make the rules clear, public, and consistent. And one day it's just entertainment, relaxing, and the next day it's being treated like a real life personal attack. That inconsistency confuses people and hurts them unnecessarily, which is not what I want to do. I never want to hurt anyone. I know exactly how deep that kind of pain can go. We really can't judge a whole person from surface glimpses. We have zero idea what battles they're fighting, quietly, or what they have maybe still been fighting for a long time. My goal through all of it is always to overcome by being kind, by letting entertainment stay in its lane, by respecting that some facts and stories belong private. It's not your business. Healing happens behind closed doors sometimes, and that's more than okay, and it's healthy. And we're not entitled to every piece of information on somebody's life just because they may have come to the public to discuss a case. On true crime specifically, of course, I still care about it. I enjoy the respectful discussions of public cases that have already played out, with heart, never coldly, never locked into a narrative when we don't have the full picture, because sometimes the truth is right in front of us. And I won't imagine that anyone else would even want anyone to apologize for content that we've enjoyed. I mean, that's not right. It is just content in many ways, right? And I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. And for any part I played in many misunderstandings, apparently, or hurting people, yeah, I feel sorry for that. I do. But it's just kind of unfair, really, and honestly goes against the fairness we all claim to value to silence or ban someone entirely over incomplete context. Though every bit of the mess that has gone on, I always choose forgiveness anyway. I choose kindness anyway, grace anyway, even on days when it feels pointless or even selfish, because that's what I want my children to do. And you know what? On the other side of having that as a choice and making those choices, the stress ends up melting away. The joy rushes back in faster than I ever expected. And my heart feels healthier, lighter, genuinely happier than it has in a long time. So here's a few gentle reminders I'm going to be carrying forward, and I'm including myself in every one of these. I want to share them with all of you that will listen to this. Drama can entertain us, but don't let lazy assumptions turn into real world harm. Privacy isn't about hiding. Very often, it's about protecting hope, faith, healing, and the chance to triumph. We don't have to harden our hearts or pick endless sides in every fight. We can choose to stay kind, stay joyful, and stay open where it's safe to. If you're in your own FAFO season right now, whether you're 25, 40, 60, whatever, you don't have to come out bitter. You can come out wiser, kinder, and more intentional about your peace. Right now, I'm back. I'm glowing from the inside, choosing peace over constant chaos, and so excited to really create this time, not having to keep restarting and getting sidetracked and getting derailed. There's going to be a lot more laughs, more light discussions and positive energy, more of the stuff that actually fills me up and fills us all. If anything I said today, hit your heart or made you nod along, you can drop a heart in the comments and tell me. Let me know what's one way, big or small, that you decide to choose kindness or protecting your peace or setting clear boundaries in your own life right now. I always read every comment, and I do genuinely enjoy all your words. They're very encouraging, and I appreciate them. And I want to thank you, seriously, for holding space while I healed. You guys know who you are. And thank you for being this kind, thoughtful corner of the internet when so much of it feels like it's the opposite. And as I wrap this up, I want to leave you with the one truth that's been anchoring me through every hard day that I've had in my real life and struggles that I've been enduring. I still do have a deep belief in God. And I know He doesn't give up on us. And that's just my belief. No matter how many times we stumble, question everything, change direction, or feel like we may be falling apart, His love doesn't quit. It renews every single morning. It holds us steady when the world feels like it's shaking. And that's the reminder that always has kept me to choose to be happier, to have kindness, forgiveness, and light over darkness every day. So to every single one of you watching, whether you're deep in your own FAFO season, coming out of a stressful chapter, protecting your peace, showing up for family like I'm doing now with my son's supposedly getting married, you are, you don't have to be perfect, right? You just have to keep choosing the good things that make a positive impact on you and your family and friends. Do what's positive in any genre or whatever you discuss of your creator. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water. But it's important to know that there is no such thing as being too soft and not hardening up, because a lot of us are tougher than people could ever imagine. Sometimes it's actually harder to choose kindness. But if you just have to, just keep pushing and choosing the good things, hope when it's hard, joy in the small moments, and boundaries that guard your heart and grace for yourself and for the others. And I want to thank you guys again for being here with me through this heavy, heavy, heavy part of my life on this little corner of the internet. And now I look forward to the future. Your comments, your hearts, your prayers, your positive energy, they always mean the world to me. Don't forget, hit the like so the algorithm knows this is kind of real, positive, honest energy still matters, right? Like actually helps. Sharing helps. Subscribing helps a lot. And remember, I'm serious. Choosing kindness matters. It really is the win. I care about this community, this space we've all built here, more than words can say. You stay strong, stay kind, stay believing, and I'll see you in the next one with even more good vibes and lighter energy.